Hi everyone, it's Miss Rachel. Welcome back to week 2 with occupational therapy at Cajon Valley Union School District. This week we're going to be talking about writing. Some things that you're going to need before we begin are some paper, a pencil, and maybe some crayons or some markers as well. This week we're going to teach you how to hold your pencil, where to start your writing, review our pre-writing shapes, ways to have fun while practicing at home, your name, and how to make it easier and harder for your child.
Hi guys, Miss Jen. I just wanted to talk to you about holding your pencil the right way while you're doing your writing or drawing. Some of you are still learning, and that's okay. What might work best for you is a really short utensil, such as this crayon, or a wider utensil, like a marker or even a thicker pencil. In general, I find having a few things to choose from when you're doing your activity is helpful. You're going to pick what works best and feels best in your hand. But if you're holding a pencil, we want to make sure you're doing it the right way. So a few things to remember. Make sure you hold your pencil close to the tip or the point. Then make sure you're pinching your pencil between your pointer finger and your thumb. You should be able to see a little bit of the pencil between those two fingers. Rest your pencil on your third finger, or if you want to, pinch with 3 and rest on your 4th finger. Then you are ready to start writing. Make sure your forearm is on the table, make sure your wrist is on the table, and make sure the motions are coming from the tips of your fingers. Also, when you're doing your writing, don't forget to push down hard enough. You're so smart and we want to see your work. I can't see those lines in the top row, they're barely there. So what I might do is ask my mom or dad for help so that I can push harder on my paper and make sure that you can see my lines. Or something else that you could do is switch to a different utensil. Markers are pretty good at showing up on the paper.
Hi there, it's Miss Cassie. When you are forming letters or pre-writing shapes, remember that you always want to form your letters from top to bottom and left to right, like this. Top to bottom and left to right. If you forget about that or need a visual, you can put a sticker at the top of the page, maybe a star, or even a smiley face.
Hi everybody, it's Miss Vicky. Today I'm going to go over what we call our pre-writing strokes and shapes. These are lines and shapes that kids should have mastered before they go on to learning their letters and numbers. So I'm going to demonstrate and go over the correct way to make all of these lines and shapes. Okay, the first thing you want to make sure you're doing is that you have your helper hand holding your paper steady, and you're going to make a line down as your first writing stroke. So parents, you want to make sure your child starts at the top and does a straight line down. The next line we're going to do is a line across. So you want to have your child start on the left-hand side of the paper and drag their marker or crayon across. The next one we're going to do is a circle. So you want to start by having them make a letter C and then keep going to make a circle. Our next one is a cross. So you want to make sure that they start on the top of the paper, slide down, jump over to the left, and make a cross. The next one we're going to do is a square. So have your child start in the top left corner, down, across. Now we want to work on diagonal lines. So you can have your child start in the upper left-hand side, slide down, jump up, slide down, and they made an X. The last shape we want them to work on is a triangle. So start at the top, slide down, jump up, slide down, straight line across. And those are all of our pre-writing lines and shapes.
Hi, it's Miss Lindsay, and I'm going to show you guys a variety of ways that your child can practice writing the letters of their name or drawing basic shapes using a variety of common household materials. To practice your shapes outside, you just need a bucket, some water, and a paintbrush. You can also elaborate on your shapes to have more fun. If you have dry erase markers or crayons, your child can practice their shapes on a mirror. I'm going to make a circle. Start at the top. Another way your child can practice making shapes is with 3D materials such as pasta or cereal. I used tape to make a line, but you could also draw the line on the paper. Then have your child start at the top and put the cereal or pasta on the line. This is fun because your child can then eat the materials afterwards. One way that you can practice forming your shapes is by using some salt on a tray. I'm going to make a cross. I start at the top, big line down, line across. Another way for your child to practice shapes is with shaving cream. Spread the shaving cream around and let them go to town. You can make a big line down, erase. Try a circle next. Start at the top, erase. Another way to practice shapes is with Play-Doh. You can do this in 2 different ways. You can smash the Play-Doh down and then use a pencil or the backside of a paintbrush to practice the shape. I made a line. You can also take part of the Play-Doh and roll it to try to make the shape. Now I have a line. Another way to practice shapes is with rainbow drawing. To make a cross, do big line down, big line across. Then your child can trace over it with all the colors of the rainbow. Remember, if your child's having trouble with grasp, you can break their crayons in half to promote a proper tripod grasp.
Hi everyone, it's Miss M here. I'm going to give you some tips to make writing easier. Let's get started. You would use hand-over-hand assistance if your child is unable to sequence the designs while tracing. You can use dots to create shapes. I'm going to make a square, so I'm going to put a dot on the top, one directly below it, one to the right, and then one above. So the child would start with a straight line down, horizontal line across, straight line up, and then over to the left.
Parents, if your child is already able to copy the pre-writing shapes, here are some options to make it more challenging. You can verbally tell your child which shape to draw, and you can start to work on sizing. So telling them to draw a big circle or a little circle. You can show your child how to draw a person using the pre-writing shapes. So use a circle for their head, a square for their body, vertical lines for their legs, and horizontal lines for their arms. Your child can then add in more details. If they master these skills, you can begin to work on tracing or imitating the letters of their first name.
Hi students and parents, I'm Coda Hillary and I'm going to talk to you about tracing your name. First, write your student's name with something they can trace over and they can still see their own writing through. So that you can try using a yellow crayon, or you can use yellow highlighter, or if you don't have either of those things, you can just use a regular pen and make a dash line template. And remember, letters are formed from top to bottom. I'm going to use a broken crayon so that I have a proper grasp. So top left corner, big line down, little line across, big line down, back to the top, little line across, little line across. These helpful words that you can use to describe how to form the letter can be found in your handwriting, in your handout. And there's a chart that has all of the letters and what words you can use to describe the formation. If they don't start at the top, you can try giving them a top dot, and that's what that is. If they need extra help, you can guide their hand with your own hand and give them physical assistance.
When your child has mastered writing the letters of their name with the correct formation, you can begin to have them incorporate writing their name into their daily schedule. So for example, you could have them sign in for breakfast each morning on a whiteboard in the kitchen, or just make sure that they're always writing their name at the top of the paper when they do their schoolwork.